Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Becky. I'm Kate's partner.
And basically, I wanted to make a video just to document sort of your part of my journey, as they say. But I just had a few quick questions. The first thing I guess I was wondering is, do you remember the first time that I really brought up having weight loss surgery?
I think so, and I actually think we were in different cities. I think I was in Chicago and you were in New York. I was away for the summer, and I think it was on a call or like a video call.
And what did you think at first?
Oh, I think you had sort of brought it up a little bit beforehand. And the more we talked about it, I thought it was a really good. It's not like a good idea. It's like obviously scary to have any sort of surgery, and I was working in a hospital at the time, so I like especially knew all of the risks of even just stepping foot into a hospital. Um, but just thinking about how happy you were, you seemed a little sort of down and like not trying to do as much as I think you wanted to do, and like weren't being as social as maybe you could have been. I just and like we've both been dieting forever, and it's like nothing seems to work, and
Yeah.
everything just seemed unhealthy. So it just seemed like the first time there was a glimmer of hope of sort of changing that.
Well, to me, it's interesting because I think you've known me from like being 190 all the way up to being like 297.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you think my personality changed in that time?
Oh, I just feel like after some point, you just like shut yourself in, and it's like you didn't want to leave the apartment. You just wanted, like, you didn't want people to see you. I remember people would come into town, and I just feel like you didn't want to interact with them because you were embarrassed. I think it was like hard to move a little bit. It's like you were a little bit less likely to try new things. I mean, this was at least like more before the surgery, but then we've known each other forever since our first years, or my first year of college or second year, and there you were so much more outgoing, and like you wanted to meet everyone and do everything and like do as much as you could, and that just really changed.
Yeah. What were your expectations of the surgery?
Um, I didn't. I knew it would be work, but I didn't realize it would be as hard as it was. And I think the first few months were really scary because you were getting sick a lot, and it was like you're eating like totally period foods, and it's just like consumes your whole life. I mean, at this point, I think it's so livable, and it's like you can basically, you like live a little bit of a modified life, but it's not the like first part of your identity in any way. It's like you're eating healthy, not you're a gastric bypass patient.
Yeah.
Um,
But I guess I'm curious, like, because in my memory, the first time I really mentioned to you seriously, you were immediately like, yeah, you should talk to your doctor. And it seemed pretty positive. And I think for me, it was like a big push. Not like a push in any sort of like coercive way, but like a big motivator that you weren't doubtful of it. And I was just wondering if between then and me having the surgery, and I know that was a really short window, it was like 1 month, if you had any, or no, I guess, a few months, if you had any hesitation once we
no.
like learned about the surgery and like.
No, not at all. And actually, I think you like first mentioned it early on in the summer before you could even get a doctor's appointment. So it was like, 3 months before you could get your doctor's appointment, because I guess your doctor was backed up.
Mm-hmm.
You had mentioned it, and from there, I thought it was just a good idea and like wanted to help you get there.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's really hard. I mean, I don't know if you would have been able to like become sort of healthy and happy and like live that life without the surgery, and I sort of saw that beforehand, so I wanted to push you to get it.
Yeah. I mean, these I think are like the most difficult questions, but what do you think would have happened if I hadn't gotten the surgery?
It's so hard. You were just so sad and
Yeah.
like shutting yourself in, and like I think it would have been a really awful spiral.
Yeah.
I like don't know where it would have ended up, and it's so hard because it's like, it was before we were engaged, engaged, and I feel like even in the past year, even though we've been seeing each other for like 7 years, it's like we really become much not closer, but it's like it's clear we're gonna live like the next part of our life together, like the rest of our life really together. Um, and I think that would have been really hard to envision with like I just didn't know what to do to help you.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think you would have suggested the surgery?
I think I might. It's a hard thing to suggest because it's like, well, I wouldn't want you to feel pressured in any way to get the surgery. I mean, I think the surgery to me was like the best option for sort of the way, like a way to become healthy.
Yeah.
And like active. Sorry, let me just turn that off.
Sorry, go ahead.
But I don't think it's the only way. I think it was I think we did a lot of research, and I think that was definitely the best choice for you.
Yeah.
But I think I would have tried to push maybe some less invasive things.
Yeah.
Although it's like, I feel like you tried them all. I think at some point I might have suggested that. But it was just so hard. It's like you didn't want to talk about it. I feel like now we're both so good about trying to help each other be healthy. It's like, I make you dinners, you pack me lunch, and we're like getting really healthy food in the apartment. We're both being really active together. And that was something that wasn't happening then.
Yeah.
And when I thought about having kids and like living a long life, it's like those are things that I wanted. I wanted to like take walks with someone, and it's like you didn't want to take walks and stuff like that. So it was really hard. I didn't know what to do.
It's interesting to me though, because I feel like, sort of tracing me from college to me 5 years after college, and sort of talking about how I wanted to try less. Like, how did you know that wasn't just me getting older? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, because there were like little bursts of excitement,
Mm-hmm.
and then you were just really depressed. It's like it was pretty clear.
Yeah.
It's not a getting older type of thing. It's like we had just moved to New York. You have started a new job. I mean, that's like an exciting time. That's not. We've been in the middle of nowhere for a million years. In like a community we're not thrilled about. It's like we were in such an exciting time. And still, it's like you really wanted to shut yourself off. Even for me, a little too, though.
Yeah. So sad. Well, I guess I'm curious too, just, talking about those first few months being really hard. Was there a time when you thought that would be the rest of my life?
I don't know. I don't think I told you this, but I just remember having a conversation. I forget who it was with. I'm just like, I think I was unhappy because it's like you were unhappy and I didn't know what to do. And it was right before.
You mean pre-op?
Yeah, right before your surgery. And I was like, I think the surgery will really help. I was just trying to figure out what I could do.
Yeah.
And I was like, try and talk to you about going into therapy. Maybe we could do it together. Like, I was like really trying to think about what could have happened. So I think I would have really tried something if you weren't getting the surgery. Like, it seemed like it was getting a little dire.
Yeah.
An intervention was needed.
And then, I think I say this all the time where it's like, when they had us fill out the form for my expectation, I was like, I hope I one day weigh 190 pounds. Oh my God, that would be amazing. And now obviously I'm like 175. Did you have any numbers in your head of where you thought I could get? Or for you, was it like, okay, if I can get her back to 200 where she was in college and active and happy, that'll be amazing?
Oh, well, I think more than anybody I know, once you have your heart set on a goal, will get there. So I think, what'd you say, your goal is like 155, 160?
Yeah.
I think you'll get there because that's what your goal is.
That's
and
so
you
sweet.
don't give up on your goals, ever.
That's so sweet.
It's true.
One of the other questions I had, which I think maybe is like a little bit of a sticky question, is it had to have been a little bit hard to see me like sliding down sizes, changing sizes like every month. Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry.
Do you want me to pause?